Narayanam Padmabhavam Vasishtam Shaktim cha Tatputra Parasharam cha Vyasam Shukam Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Mathasya Shishyam Shri Shankaracharya Mathasya Padam cha Hastamalakam cha Shishyam Tam Trotakam Vartikakara Manyad Asmad Gurun Santatamanatosmi Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavitvaram Om Bhadram Karne Vishnuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashye Makshabhiryajatraha Sthirairange Istuštuvagum Sastanuvihi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vruddashravaha Swasti na Pusha Vishvavedaha Swasti nastarksho Arishtanemihi Swasti no Bruhaspatir Dadhatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. After the sixth mantra, we started our study of Gaudapadacharya Ji's commentary, the Karikas, and the Karikas that we are looking at. We did the first two Karika. Bahishprajño Vibhurvishvo Hyanta Prajnastu Taijasaha Ghana Prajnas Tatha Prajna Eka Eva Tridha Smrutaha. This first Karika, Gaudapadacharya Ji, he starts his work, Bahishprajña iti Paryayena tri sthanatvat saha ahamiti smrutya prati sandanat cha sthanatraya vyatirikta tvameva ekatvam shuddhatvam asangatvam cha siddham iti abhiprayah mahamatshyadi drushtanta shrutehe. So over here, Gaudapadacharya Ji is saying that Shankaracharya Ji is saying in his Bhashya, Mahamatsyadi Drushtanta Shrutehe. In Shruti, there is this example, and the example given in the Shruti is there is this huge fish swimming in the river. And the fish swims from one bank to the other bank. Then, along with that, there is also another example given in the Shruti, that there is a falcon or a hawk, and this falcon or a hawk flies up high in the sky and its eye is down on the earth looking for a little rodent or something. And the falcon flies, and it becomes exhausted. So it takes some rest perched on a high tree. Again it flies, and in the evening it takes rest in its nest. The falcon being the same, the fish being the same, it experiences the two banks of the river. And the example in the Upanishads is this Mahamatsya, which is in the river. The two banks represent the waking state and the deep sleep state. And the waking state is none other than the same as the dream state. So waking and dream are merged into one, and then the deep sleep. And this fish is moving back and forth. The falcon also, it flies high and it is ever awake and it is alert as to what it is looking out for. Even while perched on the tree resting, its drashti is still on the earth. And then in the evening it goes to the nest and it withdraws. In the same way, over here it is said that this Atma, this absolute self, even though it is one, it experiences three. The three: waking, dream and deep sleep. And this three is linked by Saha Ahamiti Smrutya Prati, that I, that absolute expresses itself. The Sfuranam is that I am. And then the I am is I am mind, identified with it, I am emotional. And then I am intellect, identify with it, then it becomes I'm full of nasty thoughts, I'm full of good thoughts, whatever it is. I identified with the body, I'm a male, I'm a female, I'm educated, I'm rich, I'm poor, all those things. But the I am is the same in all three. So Saha Ahamiti Smrutya, it is with that this Vishwa, Tejas and Prajna. The three, the waker, the dreamer and the deep sleeper, is none other than this one. And what is the identity of that one? Tvam, ekatvam, shuddhatvam, it is pure. Asangatvam, the I am is untouched by the vulgar or the good thought, the emotional or the unemotion, whatever it is shuddh, asangatvam, siddham iti abhiprayah. Siddham, it is ever available to itself, and that is the greatest siddhi. It never ever loses its nature of awareness, is the siddhi. The siddhi of Atma is it ever is nitya shuddha buddha mukta prajna ghana swarupa. It is pure effulgent, ever free, and that is the Shankara Bhashya on that. Then the second Karika we saw, Dakshinakshi mukhe vishvo manasyantastu tejasah akashe cha hridi prajnah tridha dehe vyavastitah. We saw the second Karika as well. Dakshina akshi mukhe vishva. The right eye is the dwelling place of Vishwa, the waker. Then Manasi antastu tejasah. The dreamer is where the dreamer rests in the mind. The waker rests in the right eye. Then akashe cha hridi prajnah. The deep sleeper's dwelling place is where the deep sleeper dwells in the locus of the heart. Tridha dehe vyavastitaha. This is where this awareness, it is not explicitly said over here, it is the awareness I am is placed in these three places. It is implied, carried on from the last karika, it is taken over here. So dakshinam aksheva mukham tasmin pradhanyena drashta sthulanam vishvaha anubhuyate. This right eye, dwelling in it, it experiences the gross world of objects. So it is drashta sthulanam vishva anubhuyate, experiencer of this, the gross world of objects. Pradhanyena drashta, it is just a witness. See, witness can only be a witness provided there is a second thing to witness. If the second thing is not there, it cannot be a witness. So this I am is a Gnapti Swarup. It is of the nature of knowledge. And that knowledge, it is self-awareness and it awares whatever is in front of it. So if something is in front of it, then it becomes a Sakshi, a witness. If nothing is there, it is ever present. Indo havai nama eshayo eshayah ayam dakshine akshan purushaha iti brihadaranyake shruti. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, like I was saying, all these ideas this Gaudacharya ji is presenting in this karika, he's done a thorough study of Shastra. It has to come from somewhere. So he's pulling those ideas and creating a meter form shloka for easy remembrance. And what he's saying is Indaha Havainam. Its name is Inda. That is all. It is mentioned in Brihadaranyako. Indho Deepti Gunaha Vaishvanaraha. And its nature is Deepti. Deepti, it brings about awareness. Gnapti Swarup, I said. In the same way, over here it is a Deepti Swarup. It is of the nature of effulgence. And what does it do? Vaishvanaraha. So it awares what? It awares the world of objects. So then it becomes Vaishvanaraha, that awareness. Vishwa is that awareness. And what does Vishwa aware? Vishwa awares Vaishvanara, Virat. So these names we have to get very familiar with. We have a big Upanishad in front of us. I cannot be repeating Sanskrit English. So get familiar with it. Otherwise time will go in going back and forth. Because the whole Upanishad is an analysis of these three. So tattoo it in the mind. This is what it is. Vishwa, Tejas and Prajna. It's the name of the waker, the dreamer and the sleeper. And Virat or Vaishvanara, Hiranyagarbha and Ishwar is the waker which experiences the waking world, is none other than Virat or Vaishvanara. Dreamer which experiences the dream world, Hiranyagarbha. And the Prajna experiencing the deep sleep is what? Ishvara. So this 6 you have to be very familiar with. Okay. Because it is said in the Deepti Guno Vaishwanara. Automatically we know Vaishwanara, the Sthul Jagat. Then Adityantargata Vairaja Atma Chakshushi Cha Drashtaikaha. Just like this Aditya Antargata Vairaja Sangnyaka, this Atma, the very inner self of the sun god, witnesses the whole universe. In the same way, it is this awareness in the I which witnesses the whole world. The physical eye doesn't witness. The physical eye is a golaka. But in the golaka is the awareness, which awares what the eye sees. Now, biology may retina problem, and we are not interested in that. Biology is very different. What we are talking about, why should biology function? That is that awareness, is what the Atma over here means. So, this. Now, there is a doubt over here is presented. A doubt, in Shankar Bhashya, Shankaracharya ji, he takes the Purva Paksha to create a doubt, and he presents a doubt for learning purposes, so that there is a clarity in understanding. And these doubts are also raised by people from different sampradayas as well. Different understanding, different thought process. So, if there happens to be a student having that background, the student may be thinking that. So, he's thinking out loud for that student to alleviate that doubt. So, Nanu, I have a question. Anyaha Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha is one thing, and the other is Dakshine Akshinyaha Drashta Niyanta Dehaswami Kshetrajnaha. I read it in the prose order. So that there is one thing is this Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha is none other than the world experienced by the dreamer. Now, he said that there is a Kshetrajna Deha Swami, the enlivener of the equipment, the Lord of the body. The Lord of the body experiences the world, and the world that it experiences is Vishwa. And when the dreamer experiences the dream world is another one, Hiranyagarbha. So, he's saying that the witness of the waking world is one, and witness of the dream world is another. So Shankaracharya ji says over here, no, that is not it. There are no two witnesses. So he's resolving this. Swataha भेदानभ्युपगमात् एको देवः सर्वभूतेषु गूढः इति श्रुतेः क्षेत्रज्ञं चापि मां विद्धि सर्वक्षेत्रेषु भारत अविभक्तं च भूतेषु विभक्तमिव च स्थितम् iti smrutehe. He uses Bhagavad Gita Smruti to say that the witness in me and the witness in you are not two witnesses. It is the same awareness, that same awareness functioning through two equipment. And the example is Akasha Ghatamiva, that there are so many pots. The pot space of a blue pot is still pot space. The pot space of a green pot is still space. The pot space of red pot is still the same space. The blue pot, the green pot, the red pot is the difference of the pot. But the space in the pot, it is the same space. And what is in the Ghatakash is the Mahakash. What is inside the pot is the same thing outside. It is said over there in the Bhashya of these, what I have just, these Shruti which he has quoted. So he is saying, Eko Devaha Sarva Bhuteshu Gudaha, that one God is in all. How? He uses this example of pot, Ghatakash and Mahakash. Okay. Then Kshetrajnam chapi mam viddhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. So he is saying that Kshetrajnam chapi mam viddhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. In all fields, I am the one, Kshetrajnam, the knower of the field. So, in the first example, the manyness is removed. In the second example, the second quotation over there is the Gnapti Swarup, that the knower is one. So, see how systematically he is saying that there are no two things, there is only one. That is to be understood. And then, avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam cha sthitam. Even though avibhaktam cha bhuteshu, he who is indifferentiated, vibhaktamiva cha sthitaha, but appears as though he is differentiated. The differentiation is from the standpoint of upadhi, equipment. Each one of us has a different equipment, and it appears as though the consciousness is different, but consciousness is not different. Consciousness is the same. So he said the difference is in the equipment, the difference created in the limitation of the spatial limitation by the potness, and the differentiation created by knowing of the field. But in all this, the knower is one, the being is one. So in the same way, the knower of the waking state and the knower of the dream state, they are no two things. That same one which awares that kshetrajnam chapi mam viddhi sarva kshetreshu bharata, the knower of that one field, that one which awares the field, it is that same awareness which awares the dream world. And that is what is said over here, Sarveshu karaneshu avisheshena api dakshinashi. This one awareness, sarveshu karaneshu, in all equipment, avishesha api, it is, even though it is undifferentiated, yet it appears as differentiated. Again, awareness is one, and in each one of us, this awareness which knows, it is just one. It is not different in different people. It is just one. Dakshina akshi gataha rupam drushtva nimilata akshastadeva smaran manasi antaswapna ivatadeva vasana rupa abhivyaktam pashyati. That same consciousness, Dakshina Akshigata, which is in the right eye, Rupam Drushtva, having seen the world of manifested objects, Nimilita Akshasta Deva, when it closes the eye, when the eye is open, it sees the world of objective reality. But when it closes the eye, what happens? Smaran manasi antaswapna iva tadeva vasana rupam abhivyaktam pashyati. When we open the eye, we see the world. And when we close our eyes, inside the mind, manasi, locative sense is used, okay? In the mind, when the eyes are closed, the world is seen inside the mind. And inside the mind, the world is seen how it is said, vasana rupa abhivyaktam. As per the vasanas, it sfuran, it creates. It reveals. In the mind, the picture is played even though the eyelids are closed. In the mind, however, the movie is still playing. When the eyes are open, the outside world movie is playing. When the eyes are closed, the inside of the mind, the movie is still playing. And the movie which is playing, the fodder of that movie is vasana. And it continues. And he makes the point over here which is very important. Yathat atra tatha swapne. The same way, in the waking state, how in the waking state we saw two different worlds. I hope you are following me. In the waking state, I am still awake when I close my eyes. When I close my eyes, I have not fallen asleep. But when I close my eyes, I can still in the mind see the world. Physical eyes are not seeing the manifested world, but the mind is seeing what I want to see, isn't it? When I open my eyes, I have no choice but to see what is in front of me. If I don't want to see this glass, all I have to do is close my eyes and the glass will be replaced by what I want to see. But I cannot open my eyes and not see the glass. I will see the glass. When I open my eyes, I have no choice but to see the world. I am awake and I don't want to see the glass. I want to see something else, then I have to close my eyes and imagine what I want to see. Where? In the mind. The same thing, he extends this simile, that in the waking state, while awakened, we can close our eyes and create something. He says dream is nothing different than that. When we sleep, the mind sees what it wants to see. Just like in the waking state, I also did the same thing. So over here, that, and then he proves this, ataha manasi antastu taijasaha api vishva eva. Oh ho, big point he made. That Vishwa and Tejas, same. Manasi eva Vishwa and Tejas, isn't it? In the mind itself is the waking world, and in the mind itself is the dream world. That is a very important point. That is why that fish example, which swims on the two banks, one bank is a waking and the dream state, and the other one is a deep sleep state. Because the waking state and dream state are both reduced to one. Illusion, both. In the waking state we see a movie, in the dream state we see a movie. And that is all we do. We see movies. This point that he made is very important. Then he continues and says, Akashecha hridi smaranakya vyapara uparame prajna eki bhutah gana prajna eva bhavati. So he established the oneness of the waking and the dream. Okay? And that consciousness which awares the waking and the consciousness which awares the dream, same consciousness. Now he is going from waking state to deep sleep state. Okay, let's see what he proves over here. So over here, Akashecha hridi smaranakya vyapara uparame is a very beautiful, you can kind of say the definition of a mind. So the smaranakya vyapara, the transactional reality, the activity in the form of memory transaction, uparame, when that is suspended, where manasi, it is implied, it is in the mind. The mind is where the play of the thoughts happen. The emotions, the feelings and the thoughts are in the mind. So over here, this smaranakya, the remembrance, vyapara, the transaction of the memory, the thought, the emotion, uparame, when it is suspended. When it is suspended, when the mind ceases to be mind. That means it is not a waker and it is not a dreamer. When it is not dreaming and when it is not awake, that mind is suspended, uparame. And when the mind is suspended, what happens? Akashecha hridi, in the very space of the heart. He had to find a different location because mind is suspended. So now the location has moved from the mind to, in our Shastra it is also said the cave of the intellect. You can, the cave of the intellect, the cave of the heart, whatever. Over here, cave of the heart. Now please don't literally think, you open up the heart and you'll find a cave in it. This is a way of, it's a very subtle idea, meaning the innermost part of our being. We are getting subtler and subtler and subtler. The subtle part, Akasha, Prajna. Prajna is born. Who is this Prajna? We should know by now. He is a deep sleeper. This deep sleeper, Eki Bhutaha, one pure mass, Gana Prajnaha. That mass of awareness, Eva Bhavati. He is in the deep sleep state, the mind which is suspended of the memory and the transaction of the thoughts and all those things, in the deep cave of the intellect, the cave of the heart over here, this being over here is one homogeneous mass of existence, Gana Prajna. Now, definition of the mind. Darshana smarane eva hi manahas spandite. This very beautifully over here. Darshana, perception. Smarane, the memory recollection. The very perception and the memory recollection from here and from here. So perception from here and memory recollection from here. All that eva hi manasi spandite. The mind is vibration. It is a vibration of perceptions. And it is a vibration of these thoughts dancing on the inside. Thoughts coming from Vasnamaya Kosha, and from the outside world, the input is the objective reality in terms of all the perceptions which are going on. And when it is said perception, hearing is included, touch is included, smell is included, taste is included. All five perception is what is vibrating the mind, disturbing the mind, the kampanam of mind. You will in different Upanishads, different words are used. Over here, manasi spandane. So all these things, tad abhave hi eva avisheshena pranatmana avasthanam. So what happens is, when this is suspended, tad abhave, when the mind stops vibrating, when the mind stops vibrating from the waking state perceptions, and when the mind stops vibrating from the from the dream thoughts that disturb it. So these two, when it is gone, the waking perception and the dream thoughts, when it is gone, tad abhave avisheshena, there is no distinction, absence of all distinctions, absence of all differences. There are no differences now. And what happens? Pranatmana avasthanam. It enters the state of this pranic avastha. Another thing which is introduced over here. So this pranic avastha, it enters. And he quotes over here from Chandogya Upanishad, prano hi eva etan sarvan samvrunukte. All that is happening is from this rudimentary pranic shakti. The Shakti of the pranas, what is talked about over here, is the ability of consciousness to create Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti. When we call Shakti, there is a power, and the rudimentary power what is implied over here is the Pranatmika Shakti. It is called Pranatmika Shakti because it is inbuilt in awareness. It is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Anandam, Brahma. That existence is awareness, the awareness is existence. And the existence awareness principle, it has an inbuilt pranic Shakti to create an experience. If left to itself, it has an experience of self-awareness. But when that self-awareness comes in close proximity to an equipment, that equipment can grab that and start doing whatever the equipment is built to do. So this equipment is built for darshana and smriti. So that aspect of pranic Shakti will start vibrating the mind. Electricity by itself is electricity. When electricity comes in contact with bulb, it expresses light because the equipment is meant to aware light. When electricity comes in contact with refrigerator, it produces coldness. When I put my finger in that plug, will I experience coldness? No, it will be an electricity yoga. If that same electricity is in a heater, it produces heat. So the light, the heat, the cold is at the level of equipment. But the equipment is capable of doing that because there is inherent power of electricity. In the same way, there is a Shakti of awareness, and that Shakti of awareness is Pranatmaka Shakti. That is what is mentioned over here. Iti shrute taijasa hiranyagarbha manasas tattvat. Even in the Lingam Manaha, in the Bruhadaranyaka Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, all this. So this, what is this Lingam Manaha? Mind, Lingam is, it is indicated. Lingyate, gamyate, anena iti lingam. That by that it is indicated. So by consciousness, mind can be mind. It is only because of consciousness mind can be mind. If somebody says I am very emotional, and if somebody says I am not emotional at all, the absence of emotions or the presence of emotions, both of them are possible only because both types of mind are aware by the same awareness. The emotional mind, that difference, and the unemotional mind is at the level of mind and not consciousness. So when it is said Lingam Manaha, it is a nature of that mind but not consciousness. But consciousness is indicated in the presence of the mind. If mind is there, rest assured the Pranatmika Shakti of awareness is there. Manomayam ayam purushaha Bruhadaranyako. So this Purusha, this being, Manomayam Purushaha, meaning this Purusha is awareness. This absolute being is awareness. So now there is a doubt. Again, the doubt is brought up by this person. So over here, what was so through here what was established? Through here what is established is the Tejas, which is the dreamer. The Tejas, which is the dreamer, which dreams the world, which is Hiranyagarbha. The world which is dreamt and the dreamer, they are both one because the Shakti is one. What makes the dreamer is mind. And what makes Hiranyagarbha, the experience, is the thought. Without this, there cannot be a dream. Thought. Where is the thought? In the mind. Who dreams? The jiva identified with the mind. So the mind dreams a dream which is a thought. So oneness of the dreamer and the dream stuff is established over here by the Chetana Shakti. The Karika seems very simple. This Karika Shankar Bhashya is powerful because he is making these points. So oneness was established between the waker and the dreamer. Now oneness is established between the dreamer and the dream world. Both are aware by the Pranatmika Shakti. And that Pranatmika Shakti, when left by itself, it is at that point in time Prajna, the deep sleeper. And that deep sleeper, he is going to address later on. But he brought out this deep sleeper to explain the rudimentary energy, Shakti. And that is what is explained. So now this doubt appears in the mind of a student seated, and it is said, Nanu vyakruta pranaha sushuptehe. This person is understanding the pranic Shakti as what we do as pranayam, the in-breath, the out-breath. And he sees that when a person is sleeping, he is very nicely snoring away. And when he is snoring, it is said, Vyakruta prana. Prana is manifested. You can see that the person is sleeping. So, you are saying that this Pranatmika Shakti is unmanifest because it is in the deep sleeper, but it is not unmanifest, it is manifest. You can see that person sleeping. So he is confusing the two pranas. Are you following? Or this is quite a bit, huh? I can stop this and continue with our Karikas because these topics are powerful topics. He wants to clear doubt about what is implied by the prana shakti. What he is saying is, one person who is not following what is discussed in the class, his mind is stuck on Baba Ramdev's pranayam. That beating of the nose, anulom vilom, all that, and after you've cleansed, you get tired, you sleep, and in the savasana that person actually starts snoring, pranas are there. How can you say that in a prajna, a deep sleeper, this pranic shakti is avyakruta, unmanifest, because I'm seeing it? And he says, tadatmakani karanani bhavanti katham avyakrutataya. How can you say it is unmanifest pranas? Tad atmakani, when it is merged, karanani, when the equipment is merged, when the mind is suspended, the body awareness is gone, the mind awareness is gone. When the body awareness goes, waker is gone, mind awareness is gone, dreamer is gone. So then what remains is a deep sleeper. The deep sleeper is an unmanifest. He says, how can that unmanifest you call that prana when I see the body is breathing? So he is confused the two pranas. And in all this bhashya, he says, no, this is not how it is. He explains over here that one is the waking state prana abhimani is a waker. The physical pranas, when they are going on, and when that inner pranic shakti consciousness awares the mind, which awares the body, he is a waker. And as a waker, the body has to breathe. That same waker leaves the body, comes and becomes a dreamer. The pranic shakti is keeping the body alive. Yes, he is sleeping in the bed. Because of the presence of consciousness, the body is still alive. But there is no awareness of that body. The awareness of the body is transferred to the awareness of the inner world of projection. So while the breathing is going on, this person is projecting. And when that projection stops, the body will be there, mind is now suspended. But when we say that the mind is suspended, the mind doesn't die. Because when he comes back from the deep sleep, the mind arrives. And it is not that I go to bed as a doctor and I wake up as an engineer. I will wake up as a doctor. Whoever went to bed, the same person wakes up. If another person wakes up, it would be a scary world over here. So the waker who sleeps is the same sleeper. When they wake up, it is the same person. Where is that identity kept? He said, in that live body, kept alive because of the pranas. in that physically manifested pranic sharir which is suspended, in there is the mind which is suspended, and in there is the avyakta prana which keeps all of them over there. That is why, when Parakaya Pravesh Shankaracharya ji did in this king, his body, Shankaracharya, because as part of the questioning, answering which was going on, he had to answer the question on Kamana. But he is a born sannyasi. How does he know anything about the Kamanas experienced in the Grahastha ashram? He has been sannyasi. He had never engaged in any Kamana. So he said, give me a week and I will come and explain to you and answer your question. So Shankaracharya ji, what he did is, he did something known as Parakaya Pravesha. He had the siddhi, the power to leave the body and enter another body. And this king had died. The king was sleeping, had not died. So Shankaracharya ji suspended his body and he entered, and he told his disciples, make sure nothing happens to this body, because the physical pranic sharir has to be maintained. If the physical pranic sharir dies, where will he come back then? So that body has to be kept alive. And when he entered the king, when he woke up, that king all of a sudden started speaking beautiful language, and out of God knows what, Narasimha Karavalambana Stotram he chanted. And the queen said, this is not my husband. He said he would never do this. By the very presence of what was being said, that queen picked up and she told that minister, go around, somebody has entered, you find a dead body, burn it now. They find the body of Shankaracharya ji, and the disciples were busy debating. The minister quietly came and grabbed the body of Shankaracharya ji, and they set a blaze to that body, and the body is burning. And Shankaracharya ji, as in the king, is trying to recount the experiences of the kamic life so that he can create a memory bank to come back into his body and give proper answers to this questioning during Mandan Mishra's time. And the body had already started burning, and his right hand was burned. And immediately he leaves the body of the king, but the residual power of the Narasimha Karavalambana Stotram, Narasimha manifested. And Shankaracharya ji ran to him. Narasimha Bhagwan ran his hand, because it's the Karunik form of Bhagwan was invoked by that stotram, and his hand came back. Now we try to imagine all this which is said over here. The pranic Shakti, what all things it can do. Had it been completely charred, we would have lost Adi Guru. So, over here he explains that the physical prana keeps the locus alive. It is required. That is why in our Hinduism, when a person dies, even before the next day's sun rays hit, the body has to be disposed, because anything around can get into it. We do not have anything known as a mortuary, because powerful people live over there. In those days, they did not need Tesla to go to places. They could do at the snap of a finger. There was a power that these people had. Pushpak Viman and this and that. They don't think these are some, fanciful ideas. What power can do, the power of consciousness, we are too gross identified to even understand even a speck of the power of the internal pranic Shakti. So he clarifies that. That is in this. Now I've been traveling back and forth and getting just 2 to 3 hours of sleep. So tomorrow I need time off from class. We will do next week.